What's up, guys? So Archeage Unchained character reservation update. They just delayed it now to October 5th. This was tentatively going to be the plan as well. Crowlin started to discuss this on his Twitter account yesterday / this morning about delaying the character creation process and name reservation process because of like bugs and issues that are arising, and they don't want everything to just get jammed up with the public test server. The public test server will still go live on October 1st. So now we have firm dates, once again, times, exact times. So depending on your region, European region, Saturday, October 5th, 2019 at 10 a.m. UTC time. And then North American region, Saturday, October 5th, 2019, 10 a.m. PDT time. So we have times now. And they also talk about the pre-download. You'll be able to pre-download the client 24 hours prior to the times announced above. So you can now download it. You're not going to have to worry about having a slow download connection. It did take me a few hours to actually download the media server when I did a fresh install of the game. So it took about 2 hours or so on my server. I don't know how much download upload speed I had, but it was a longer download than I anticipated. So this is good. Giving 24 hours to download the server client is great. And then they talk about the reasons why this is happening, pretty much errors, issues. There were some purchasing errors. Weekday release was not good, etc., etc. You can read the full article down below. It's linked. Then they also talk about the PTS, and it looks like we're going to have a massive Q fest on the first 2 to 3 days. So they say here the first 2 to 3 days of testing will focus around load balancing with an active population cap in place, but the server will be available for constant play. Currently on the PTS, they also say they're going to use the media PTS as well. It's going to be the same server. They're not wiping that or anything. So the media PTS currently has around 100 to 200 players that are actively playing on the server. And we can see this by gear scores and rankings based on the server. So we know that there's about 100 to 200 players because it was a fresh server. There's 100 gear scores recorded, and you can test out kind of like where you are on the rankings when you just enter the game and equip like one weapon, 2 weapons, and you can see in the first hours when the server went up, you were in the top 100. Now you're not in the top 100, so there's somewhere between 100 and 200 probably players, because you're very close actually. My gear score is around like 700, and I have the full basic starter set, the full 7 pieces of armor, and then the weapons just from the quest line at the beginning, no upgrades, no nothing else, and I'm not in the top 100 anymore. So that's very, very simple and easy to get. But the server is on high status when you look at it, which is crazy. Like, that means the population cap has to be quite low. So if we'll say 200 people logged in, we'll say there's 200 people logged in right now testing the media test server. Population cap is probably, this is a guess because they've never told us actual numbers, but somewhere around like 300 to 500 right now, because the server says it's that high. Once it hits the threshold, it's going to go to full, and then it'll be like Q. Well, it'll go to Q first, and then it'll go to full, and so forth. So that's crazy. And they said they're going to keep it kind of at this. They don't say that they're going to increase it. They say after the 2 to 3 days, then they will increase the population cap, allowing for the same atmosphere as a live server. This is an example of some critical data we're tracking during the first days of PTS. So first few days of PTS, you're going to have really, really big queues, kind of like just like live. And yeah, it's not going to be fun to log in on the PTS on the first day. And now this also potentially gives us an idea of where their server capacity is. So we'll just say we'll estimate, say 500 for the PTS right now. Increasing it, they don't give us an exact number, but it was always assumed somewhere around like 2,500 was the server population cap on the live servers. And then they did some stuff later on to like, oh, we're at 500 server capacity, 600% server capacity, etc. Which means at that point there would be approximately like 12,500 players on per server. So those, to me, always felt low, but with what we find out here with the public test server and the media server, it looks like it might be very accurate. It looks like the basic population cap on a server could be around like 2,500, and then if they have to push it to its limits, you get to about a 10,000 or 12,500 concurrent players on one server, which is quite cool. So I think we have a better understanding now of how many players can actually be online at a server at a time, and it's more accurate in my opinion. The last thing I want to talk about real quick on is there's a lot of hysteria going around right now with Archeage and creators and people posting information and the information being transferred through other channels like forums, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. And a lot of the information is not concrete or solid information yet. So, and even the creators that are giving you the information aren't 100% certain of this information. They're just bullshitting and saying whatever they think and feel. So right now, my plan obviously is to sit back, absorb all the information that I can, and give you correct and accurate information in the days leading up to the release. We won't have as many videos or guides for the first week of the public test server, but towards the second week, once everything has kind of been finalized and we're in the final build roughly, knock on wood, they might change it, but then we'll start to release guides and information on stuff. Of course, no one content creator can cover everything in Archeage. Archeage is a massive game, so you're definitely going to want to follow other content creators as well and learn different resources from different people. But just please be very, very careful about the information that you're receiving, and make sure that you double check and fact check all the information that you get, guys. I will talk to you guys later, and as always, we will be trying to make you guys lots of gold in game. There are some cool things that have already popped up and have posed some concerns for players on the public test server, media server right now. But again, we'll have to see if those are fixed. If they're not fixed, there's going to be some cool gold making tips that I can share with you in the next week or so. Thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to you guys later.